150 gold chains for sale, and Daz and his brothers are buying them. Deluxe froze, the gold chains and Arthur's previous scam clicking into place. Where is Daz now? He's just left. Daz, nicked buying them. He's going to buy our chains. Deluxe roared, sprinting out of the pub, leaving Ronan. To explain the latest disaster to Charlotte, who was now looking at him with an expression of mingled amusement and profound pity. This family, she realized, was a never-ending source of chaotic entertainment. Chapter 6: The Ambush and the Unfortunate Coincidences. The back alley behind a dingy casino in Bethnal Green reeked of stale beer and desperation. A flickering neon sign for a kebab shop cast garish shadows, illuminating the motley crew huddled in the darkness. Deluxe, Ronan, Alastair, and the remnants of the consortium: Barney, Stanley, Mick, and Daz, who was now an unwilling accomplice in the scheme to reclaim the chains, waited in ambush. The air was thick with tension, a palpable mixture of anticipation and fear. A silence broken only by the distant wail of a siren. "Can you see Dad?" Daz whispered to his brother Carl, who was waiting in a clapped-out 40 Escort nearby, its engine idling roughly. Carl was a burly man, with a perpetually grumpy expression, accustomed to Daz's increasingly bizarre predicaments, but this one felt particularly absurd. "Yeah, he's in position, looking like he's about to win the lottery, the old fox. He's got that glint in his eye. About another for minutes, Daz, right? And this time you make the phone call, it's always me who has to pretend to be the hospital doctor. My acting skills are getting stretched thin. Did you know the deceased very well? He was a lovely man, gone too soon. Honestly, I'm not signing up for another season of this medical drama," Carl grumbled, rubbing his temples, clearly fed up. Suddenly, a familiar, theatrical voice drifted from a dimly lit doorway. "Okay, I'll do it. I'm sorry. I'm not feeling well. My heart, you see, it's a delicate instrument. Could you get me an ambulance? A proper one, this time." Arthur Pendleton emerged, clutching his chest, his face a picture of exaggerated distress. He carried the familiar holdall, now seemingly chained to his wrist, with a thick, gleaming chain. "You don't look too well, Arthur. What's up? Is it your ticker again?" A sudden relapse, Deluxe called out, stepping out of the shadows, a menacing grin on his face. He was flanked by Ronan and the rest of the consortium, a surprisingly intimidating, if slightly shambolic, phalanx of aggrieved investors. Arthur's eyes widened in genuine terror. He dropped the act, his theatrical wails turning into genuine panic. "Ambulance come, he gone. Watch it, fellas." "What's that?" Get in. Take it easy, fellas. I can explain everything. It was all a misunderstanding, a clever ruse. He tried to bolt, but Deluxe was too quick. His years of market stall brawls giving him surprising agility, honed by a lifetime of chasing runaway deals. We're not looking for explanations, Arthur. It's all very clear. You're little. Performance at the bistro was quite illuminating. A master class in deception. Deluxe snarled, seizing Arthur by the lapels of his jacket, which were surprisingly resilient. At least let's have a chat, Arthur, old friend, about our investment and your health. Funnily enough, Ronan added, stepping forward, his voice cold, devoid of its usual wavering uncertainty. There was 1 or 12,500 things we wanted to talk to you about, Arthur. Specifically, those gold chains and our money, and the small matter of your premature demise. He grabbed the holdall, pulling at it with surprising force. Arthur, his face a mask of panic, pulled a key from his pocket. Try this, pal. Thank you. Doctor, you don't need that to cut the chain off. I've got a key. A very special key. A secret weapon. He fumbled with a small padlock on his wrist, attempting to detach the holdall, his hands shaking so violently he could barely hold the key. Deluxe, confused, stared at the chain, then at the key. You said anything about cutting the chain off, Arthur. We were just going to ask nicely for it back. Calm down, Arthur, calm down. You'll give yourself a heart attack, a real one. This time. And then where would we be? And with that, the real struggle began. It wasn't with a fictional Russian gangster, but with Arthur Pendleton himself, who, despite his earlier theatrics, was surprisingly spry when cornered. The consortium members, each spurred by the memory of their lost savings, piled into the alley, a clumsy, comedic dog pile of flailing limbs and indignant shouts. Arthur kicked, struggled, and shouted, but eventually, overwhelmed by the sheer number of angry and slightly out of shape men, he was subdued. The holdall, with its precious contents, was finally recovered, much to the relief of the now triumphant and winded consortium. The experience left a bitter taste in Deluxe's mouth, the thrill of the chase, and the recovery was overshadowed by the sheer audacity of Arthur's con. Deluxe had been conned, and that, more than anything, stung his pride. The master, wheeler-dealer, outmaneuvered by a supposed invalid. The shame, the indignity. Back at Nelson Mandela Towers, life, predictably, returned to its chaotic normal. The retrieved gold chains were safely locked away for now. But a new source of domestic discord had emerged, the Formosa video recorder. I don't believe it. I don't